shelves or below. So any kind of field data collection, SurveyPocket's really ideal for. And the reason it works really well is that SurveyPocket doesn't need a wireless connection and it doesn't need a cellular connection. Everything runs locally on the tablet. So it doesn't matter where you are. We actually have clients beginning a field study in Africa, completely offline. All the app runs locally and all the data is stored locally. So you never have to worry about losing data or losing connection. Then when you're back online, you can simply sync SurveyPocket with one click back to your Question Pro account. All the data is there, it's formatted and ready for analysis. So SurveyPocket's been out for a little over 2 years now, and we've built in a ton of great features into it. So a couple of really interesting things that I just wanted to highlight. Collect GPS data, so you always have a GPS tag of where the survey was taken. We support multiple interactive question types. You'll see this coming through with some of the work, some of the demo that Aditya does at the end. Full multilingual support. We support dozens and dozens of languages, even right to left languages like Arabic. Multimedia question types, so you can upload images, you can upload sounds, and have people respond to those things. You can also, the survey respondents can also take and upload photos into the survey, and this is really great for when you're doing contextual work. You want to take a picture of what the interview situation looked like, what the interviewee looked like, and add that into the data set that you collect. You can also collect signatures and contact information. Again, great for trade shows, conferences, environments like that, where you really want to seamlessly collect data along with opinions. We support branching and logic, so if anyone is running more complex, more logic-based surveys, it's very easy to get those up and running in SurveyPocket. There's no additional configuration to have that logic supported by SurveyPocket. And lastly, survey chaining. This makes it really great for basically unmoderated use. We have clients using SurveyPocket in kiosks and on tables at trade shows where they don't want to be tending to the iPad all day, and this will just loop the survey. So as soon as one person is done taking it, it starts again and allows you to just, without babysitting the application all day, collect data. So that's just a little bit. We're constantly adding features into SurveyPocket, and you'll see some more features when you go through the demo later in the presentation. But right now, I want to go over and talk about what one of our clients is doing, some very interesting work that they're doing in retail analysis. So I'm going to turn over the voice control to Matthew Tillman and have him talk you through some of the work that they're doing. So Matthew, are you unmuted? Can you give it a try here and see if we can hear you?
I am here, Eric. Thank you very much. Hopefully everyone can hear me well.
Yep, we've got you.
Thank you again for inviting us to participate in this. It's our pleasure to be partnering with you on this particular initiative. We're very pleased. Let me just start by saying that we're very pleased with everything that Question Pro and SurveyPocket has provided to us, both in terms of support as well as a feature-laden platform for accomplishing many of the interesting research projects that we participate or help our clients with. A little bit about Merchant Mechanics to ground the audience. Is we are the pioneers of retail forensics. Retail forensics is an empirical-based science of quantifying what consumers are thinking, saying, and doing, and we apply a variety of methodologies to accomplish this. We don't rely on any one, but SurveyPocket and Question Pro allow us a unique ability to integrate across several of our methodological platforms that we apply, because it's not just about what people are doing, but also we want to hear what they're saying and thinking. And we design these custom research programs in a very contextual, relevant, and data-driven platform, in the sense that everything that we do has to be tied together to provide as comprehensive a view of what we call in the industry the path to purchase. The path to purchase is very context-dependent, and it requires us to be in a lot of places often at the same time and integrate that information reliably. And Question Pro and SurveyPocket have allowed us to tighten that whole part of our business model up quite considerably. You want to go to the next slide, please, Eric? As I said, we are highly mobile. We do in-store observation, intercept interviews, ethnographic research, exit interviews, store employee interviews. But we tie this with behavior as well as neuromarketing, such as eye tracking and EEG studies, EMG studies of microfacial expressions, have to tie all of that together, because at the end of the day, it's not just about what people say. We have to validate that with what they're doing and, in some cases, what they're thinking. And again, being able to apply a platform such as what SurveyPocket does allows us to very seamlessly integrate across many of those methodologies. Next slide, please. Right, so some of the challenges that we had faced prior to partnering with QuestionPro and SurveyPocket was that we had to use much heavier field PCs, and even the tablet PCs do carry a bunch of weight, and were never designed to accommodate the kinds of delivery and that our operatives want to be able to provide to ultimately the consumers in stores and in other contexts. Carrying a PC around all day in the field that weighs 3.5 pounds is quite cumbersome. In addition, the software and hardware solutions were tied to Wi-Fi. As Eric mentioned earlier, in retail environments such as big box stores like a Home Depot or a Best Buy, there's an awful lot of interference, and reliable cell phone or Wi-Fi connections are not always there. So we wanted to make sure that we were removing as much of those challenges as possible. As far as I know, SurveyPocket is the only platform that offers an offline data collection on an iPad. Again, the mobile functionality is critical to us. We're always in the field, always collecting data from a variety of contexts. And the other software that we had used in the past just didn't have the full scale of functionality with regard to different question types, logic control, etc., that SurveyPocket offers us. And lastly, the data output just wasn't well integrated with the analysis and reporting platforms that we designed. It required extra steps and extra time, which obviously yields delays on delivery that we were not satisfied with. And again, QuestionPro delivered a solution to us that was able to trim significant amounts of time off of the delivery of results to our clients. Next slide. Next slide, thank you. So, to tie the results we get from SurveyPocket with the challenges that I just mentioned, the SurveyPocket, we use them in intercept survey applications with real shoppers and real stores in real time, and we don't have to wait for internet connection. We don't have to worry about syncing in line with individual questions and errors coming back, which we have dealt with in the past, and it's just extremely frustrating for both the operative as well as for the respondent. We can significantly reduce dropout rates by having a seamless delivery of a survey that we don't have to worry about interruptions due to internet connections. So again, the iPads themselves also, we particularly use iPads, not Android platform, but the iPads attract attention. People want to see what's going on an iPad. And we have much better success rate holding iPads than paper clipboards and pencils, where you can easily be identified as someone who's administering a survey from 50 feet away, and sometimes people just avoid you altogether. Respondents even really appreciate the engaging user interface. I can't tell you enough about how important that is with regard to respondent satisfaction to the survey itself. And we've even run these studies in terms of identifying how positive versus neutral or negative the actual survey experience was using different platforms. And I can say that SurveyPocket delivers a solution that respondents even call fun and engaging. Some of the question types and interactive GUIs are top-notch. And the time to delivery and analysis, report delivery cut by over 70%. We don't have to do data entry. We don't have to worry about the integration of a particular type of spreadsheet with what we're working with. SurveyPocket and QuestionPro allow us to immediately integrate that into our larger data sets and databases for cross-methodological analysis. That's fantastic. And there's no change in the delay and speed to deployment. We can get these things out and running essentially as we write the questions. They're ready to go, and we can make on-the-fly changes and have those integrated into an ongoing survey as needed.
Great. Matthew, I had actually advanced 2 slides, so let's just jump back to this why SurveyPocket. I think this got breezed through in my
Right. I think I covered several of these points when I was describing some of the results and some of the challenges, but SurveyPocket is one of the few, as I mentioned, if any provider that provides the iPad compatibility and support, and also in offline environments without having to be connected to Wi-Fi. And again, the quest types are really ideal, both in terms of engagement and the types of information we wish to collect in a field environment.
Okay, great. So Matthew, I want to thank you very much for joining. You guys are doing some really interesting research, as I mentioned earlier. One of the fun parts of this job is seeing how people use the system, how they collect data, and you guys are really doing some very interesting in-home insight, ethnographic, intercept type interview work. And so really happy to have you joining us. At the end of the session today, if anyone has any questions about the type of work that Merchant Mechanics is doing or how they're using the data, anyone who has sort of similar contextual needs, please definitely enter a question in, and the guys from Merchant Mechanics will be happy to cover that. I want to go now and jump forward to a SurveyPocket demo and just show you how easy it is to set up and use SurveyPocket with your Question Pro account. So we'll walk through basically from A to Z and show you a demo of the app. So I'm going to change the presenter over to Aditya Bhatt, who's our Vice President of Business Development. And Adi, are you there?
Hey, can you see my screen, Eric?
Yes, we have got you here.
Perfect. Thanks, Eric and Matthew again. So let me start by introducing myself. My name is Adi. I am the VP for Sales and Business Development here at Question Pro. In today's SurveyPocket demonstration, I'm going to go over the basics of how to activate and sync your Question Pro surveys to your iPad. So this is a survey that I have already set up in my account. It's called SurveyPocket Webinar Survey. So once you have the survey set up in your Question Pro account, all you have to do is click on the Apps tab here. This will take you to the Question Pro App Store, where you can see that SurveyPocket is a app which is ready to install for you. Just click on Install. So once you have the app installed, once you click on Install, all you have to do is, sorry for that, perfect, all right. So once you once you click on Install, you will notice that there is a device key already ready to use in your Question Pro account. As Eric mentioned earlier, that you get one single device key with all Question Pro paid accounts. To activate this device key, you have to click on the device name and just update your iPad details. So in this case, it would be Adi's iPad, the name for the iPad. You can select a folder that you want to fetch the surveys from. So I'm going to select the SurveyPocket folder, and also you can run multilingual surveys on your SurveyPocket app. So for this demonstration, I'm just going to go with English. So you update the device key. Now what you need to do is open your iPad and open the SurveyPocket application on your iPad. You can install the SurveyPocket application simply by going to the Apple App Store or the Android Market and searching the keyword SurveyPocket, all one word, and then install that application on your device. Once you install the device and open it up, it will take you to the settings where you have to enter the username and password that you see here. The username and password that you see here is what you got to enter, and then just click on back and synchronize your tablet or your iPad. Once you synchronize your iPad, it will fetch all the surveys from the folder that you have decided to sync with, and this is the home screen for SurveyPocket, and you can then click on the survey that you wish to answer or get started on. So I have set up a few questions for today's demonstration, so I'll just go over them. So let's start by entering the SurveyPocket. Okay, so the first page that you see usually is a dashboard. This dashboard, as in how we keep completing responses, these numbers will keep changing, and they reset back to zero every time you sync your iPad and send the data to the Question Pro servers. All right, so let's start the survey. Okay, so the first question I've set up is a standard single select type question. How often do you conduct surveys? I conduct surveys weekly, so I'm going to select weekly. Okay, this is a standard matrix type question. So you can obviously, you can see the question, how interactive it is. So I don't need to explain much on this, but how satisfied are you with Google? And for me personally, I am satisfied with their website. I am actually not satisfied with their customer service. And overall, guess what? I am satisfied with Google. So next, perfect. Okay, now this is a rank order question. The rank order question allows your respondents to rank the answer options based on their preference. For me personally, I prefer biking over skiing, so I can just drag and drop this to my preference. And then click next. This will just ask you a confirmation message that, okay, is this what you wanted to rate it as? So yes. All right, so with SurveyPocket, you can also have images and multimedia displayed on your survey. You can add images, for example, for your upcoming events and display them in this manner. You can also have images on answer options. So which poster do you like the most? I like Usain Bolt, so I'm just going to select this one. Okay, here we have a question that allows your respondents quickly to take a photo and upload it along with their survey response. A different way of using it would be, for instance, the survey interviewer can actually take a photo of the respondent and include it along with the data set. So I'm not going to take a photo obviously now, so I'm just going to skip this question. All right. Here I have set up a slider question that allows the respondents to interactively slide and rate the questions along the defined scale. So how satisfied are you with your car? So you can then drag and move this as per your choice. So for my car personally, I'm not satisfied with the color. In terms of performance, I am satisfied, and comfort, yes, I like my car. So I am very satisfied with my car. Hit next. All right, so this is a contact information question. This is a great way to gather customer contact information, let's say at trade shows and conferences. So it's a very simple question. You start entering information here, the part, and then pretty much you can enter all the information and hit select and hit next. Okay, so this is a signature question. So you can, if you want, if you want your respondents to swipe their signature on the iPad, you can do that, and pretty much it will allow them to swipe their signature. And once you hit next, it will prompt you that thank you for answering the survey. You hit OK. And it will loop back. If you've not set up survey chaining, it will come back to the home screen of the SurveyPocket application. You notice there's a 1 here. So what this indicates is that there is one complete response for the SurveyPocket webinar survey. And every time I sync the iPad to the Question Pro account, that's going to reset for me. So let's sync this. So you click on the settings icon here and just hit synchronize. Yes, perfect. Now what this has done is it has sent the data that we just answered to the Question Pro account, which is accessible under the reports tab. And once you're back into Wi-Fi, you can send the data to the Question Pro account and check out the frequency analysis for this data. And then obviously you can do further analysis. You can cut and kind of segment the data. So this is, there are many more questions that we support, but I just wanted to show you the basics so that we can get into some good Q&A. So I'm just going to move back to the presentation.
Okay, Adi, thanks for the walkthrough. I think that does a great job of covering the basics. As you can see, it's really easy to set up. Simply install the app on your iPad or tablet. Install the SurveyPocket app within Question Pro to get your username and password, and then you're ready to go. So I'd like to open it up to questions now. If anyone does have a question, please enter it into the the question box, and we'll go through and take questions now. So I'll just give you guys a minute or two to enter questions, and then we'll start taking questions. Okay, looks like we've got some good questions coming in. I'll take the first one. Adi and I will bounce back and forth between questions here. So, are surveys created in Question Pro mobile friendly? So, I think the question here is more about rendering through a web browser on a mobile device such as a phone? And the answer is yes, they are. So we have a device detection basically that renders the survey for viewing on a small screen. There are a couple question types which we are beginning to support. Not everything is currently supported. So if you have, for instance, something very wide like a side-by-side matrix, those are not yet supported on a small device like a smartphone. But we're actually working with our usability team right now to design side-by-side matrix that will render on some smaller devices. So yes, and then again, for SurveyPocket, most all question types are supported on SurveyPocket. Side-by-side matrix or some of the wider questions is an example of something that we do not yet have supported, but trust me, we're working on it, and over the next few months, you'll see nearly everything that we support for the web browser supported in the smaller mobile screens. Okay, next question. Adi, why don't you take this? What if I needed to print a hard copy of one person's survey responses? Would I be able to do that?
Perfect. That's a good question. So yes, once the data is sent back to your Question Pro account, you can simply go to the response viewer and have a look at individual responses. So I've actually pulled up an individual response from the response viewer that we just answered on the demo. So if you have a look at it, it shows the exact response and how I answered the survey. And then obviously you have a print option right here, and you can print this out.
Okay, great. Next question, Adi, is syncing your iPad to the servers only manual, or is there an automatic option?
So for now, it is manual. Every time you need to sync it, you need to click on settings and just synchronize the app, because we don't want the reason being, if we give an automatic sync and you're not in a Wi-Fi zone, or even if you come to a Wi-Fi zone but you're not ready to sync, we don't want it disturbing the interactive behavior of the survey.
Okay, is there a way to request, is there a way to add a request to the end of every question? If you listed other, please specify. So basically a comment box on other.
Yes, definitely. There is an option wherein you can select the other box, and once you select that, it will dynamically show a comment box for you to answer.
Okay, just to clarify that, you do that within Question Pro, not
Yes, you
within
need, sorry, you need to
SurveyPocket.
set up, yeah, you need to set up the comment box on the survey, and then when you sync it on the iPad, you will see the comment box there.
Okay, great. Question about, does this work with smartphones? Yes, it works with iPhone, and the questions do render, although in a smaller format. So this is natively compatible with iPhone. Adi,
So
can you tell me about?
I'm going to add a little to this. So actually, this works on also on Android and Apple smartphones. Uh, to go to an extent, I've actually even synced it with with my iTouch, and it kind of works. But I'm not going to suggest that. But definitely works with all your Android smartphones and tablets and your Apple iPhone and iPad.
Okay, great. So, question here about the pricing. How is the fee determined? So, all Question Pro paid accounts come with one free device key. So, no matter what license you're on, the Web Pro, the Corporate, or the Team Edition, you get one free device key. And the pricing thereafter is $99 per month to use a SurveyPocket device key. We do also have some bulk pricing if you need to do, if you've got 8 devices, 10 devices, 20 devices going out to a trade show for a month. We do have bulk pricing. And if you can get in touch with the sales team, as you see on the webinar right now, sales@questionpro.com, they'd be happy to talk you through our bulk pricing options. Okay. So, Adi, another question here. How are attachments documents treated that are embedded in surveys for either Question Pro or SurveyPocket?
So for now, you can obviously use the images within. That is, you cannot attach a document on the survey and open it on the iPad, but you can. We only support images and multimedia right now on the iPad. So
Okay.
obviously, one part of this is when respondents attach their photo or a document on the survey, you can download that from the response viewer. But right now, we don't have a way of allowing you to maybe attach a Word document on the SurveyPocket application.
Okay. Another question coming in about Android base. So yes, definitely runs great on Android based devices. So, question: can you use the dynamic text option?
Um, it is actually in our upcoming uh, app update that is good. There are two major updates that we're coming up with. One is a dynamic comment box, and a second one is media bunker. So it's definitely in the works and coming up in our upcoming update for SurveyPocket.
Okay. Uh, any other questions? That's the list we currently have. Anyone else have any questions about using SurveyPocket, how to sync it with Question Pro, any of the work that Merchant Mechanics is doing? Okay, any last questions then? Give one more call. Okay, great. Well, again, I want to thank everyone for joining. Hopefully, we've managed to get through a lot in a half hour. Be respectful of your time. Definitely want to thank Matthew from Merchant Mechanics joining and talking us through some of the work they're doing. Matthew, thank you for that presentation. And our contact information is shown here on the final slide. If anyone has any more detailed questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.